In this video, I am going to show you how to open and crop a file, an image file. So what you want to do is you want to open a folder that has the image that you want to edit in it. I am going to use this PNG here, which has the fullness of my cover. You could also open a JPEG or possibly a TIFF. PNG or JPEG are going to be the ones most likely for you to be working with. So this program is Gimp. In another video, I show you how to download it and install it. It's free and it's fairly easy to learn. Now what I did is I took the file, dragging it out of my folder, and I'm going to drop it here in Gimp. Over here on the left, in the upper left, there are various different tools that you can use. I'm going to select the rectangle select tool. I'm just going to click on it to make sure I have it selected. And when I bring my cursor back out into the playing field here, you can see it has the dotted box next to it that shows you that you have the correct tool selected. Now what I want to do is I want to select the upper left corner of the area that I want to keep in my image. I'm going to hold down the left mouse button and I'm going to drag that box over the area that I want to keep. I'm going to use this image as a promotional image. Let's say I have a website or I have an interview going up and they've asked me for a copy of the cover of my book. They're not going to want the whole thing, they just want the cover. So I'm going to crop everything out except the cover itself. Now what I did is I let go of my cursor and these this dotted line all the way around, dotted box, what they call ants, because they look like little ants moving around, appeared. I'm going to go up under Image, hopefully you can see that, and then down to Crop to Selection and click on that. What that did is that got rid of everything except the area that I had selected. So now I have a smaller size image, just the front cover, that I can use for promotion. If I want to resize this, then I go into Image, Scale Image, okay? Right now this image is 3,192 pixels wide. That's very, very large. That's high definition large. Nobody's going to want you to give them that because the larger the file is, the larger the image is, the more bytes it has in it, megabytes, MBs, or kilobytes. And then the slower their website or whatever it is will be to load. They will tell you how big they want the image to be. So let's say they're looking for a 500 pixel wide image. All you got to do is highlight the number in this width box, input the width that you want, and hit enter. And it's going to automatically determine what the height should be based on relative dimensions relative to the width that you just put in. Now if you uncheck this little chain link here, it won't do that. It will just set it to that width, but the height will stay the same. So you want to just leave that alone, don't click it off, and then click Scale. It's going to take a minute here because it has to rebuild the image. There we go. Now give it the time to do that, and you can see it's a much smaller now. you can go up under View, up in the upper left, the menu at the very top, and scoot down to Zoom, and then select, say, 100%, and that's going to bring it back up to a size that makes sense to your eyes. Okay, now to save this file, you can save it as a GIMP file, or you can save it as a PNG or JPEG. Now, my guess is, unless you've done a whole lot of editing work on it, you're just going to want to go straight to PNG or JPEG. If, however, you think you may come back in later to re-edit it, then you want to save it as a GIMP file. So you'll just click Save. It'll tell you where the folder is up here where it's going to be saved, and then just click Save. And what that's going to do is that's going to save it as an XCF file. You can see down here at the bottom, well, you could see. Let me go to the folder. Here we go. This one here with the fox on it, it's a .xcf file. That file is only going to be useful in GIMP, but what it will do is when you reopen it, it will contain all the information that you added after editing the file. What the XCF file does is it allows you to open it in GIMP with all the information you just changed in the file. All right, if you want to save this as a PNG or a JPEG, go back to File, but this time you're going to Export. Click Export, and down here at the bottom, you will see Select File Type. Now there's a lot of different file types in here. You don't need any of them except either JPEG or PNG. So just scroll down until you see one of those. Here's JPEG. Say I want to save it as a JPEG. I need to select that, highlight it, and then click Export. It's asking what quality I want this export at. Now if you set it at 90, that's pretty common for web images. If you're doing something a little fancier or where you need a little higher resolution than a website, you can raise that up to 100. Or if you just feel like going to 100, go for it. Why not? 100%. Export, and that's it. You're done. So then in your file folder here, you have a JPEG. This is mine, of your cover, ready to go to any promotional site that you're using.